Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Kamen Zero Spike back again once again today. People, today we're here for Kamen Gotchard episode 32, and this episode was awesome. I'm sorry, yo. This episode was gas. And yes, this is a double upload because I've been gone for work for a week and I'm trying to catch up on everything. So bam, yeah, this episode was gas. I love this episode so much. We got the Abyssal King making his appearance. We got I'm about to say Ichinose, he's ain't JJK, Ichinose trying to build and trying to pick the brain of Cluto and trying to get her on the right path, and you know, trying to get her to open up and trying to figure out what her real desire is. We already know what her real desire is, and the 100 showing up in this world, connecting the Kamen Rider Legends and Mr. Kaguya all back together and everything. Like, we are getting really deep here, and this coincides with the Kamen Rider Legends two-part freaking special we had with him, and we're gonna get him in his new ultimate form. Like, this was awesome. Like, majority of this episode was just Ichinose and Cluto, you know, running from the 100 army soldiers after they just left Legends World, trying to take his new upgrade attachment for his new form that we're going to see in the next episode. So in this episode we see that Ichinose is already off and he's fighting Amalgam, his big tentacle Amalgam, and we get a new Kimmy in this episode, well, two new Kimmies in this episode, and he ends up defeating this Amalgam and getting a new Kimmy, which is like a big, like, centipede looking Kimmy, which is going to be used later. And we see that since after they defeat this Amalgam, we see that Ichinose was with Sabimaru and Renge, and they defeated the Amalgam. They're chilling, whatever, and we get a scene with Rene wanting to talk to Laculus, and she talks to Laculus and she wants to talk to Laculus about autotropes, and that's when we get the, you know, revelation that the three Abyssal sisters are homunculus. They are homunculi, which makes sense because the whole theme of the show is alchemy, and homunculus are just a product of alchemy. They're basically just artificial created humans. That's what they are. They look human, sound human, they act human, but they are not human. They are artificially created. So, so see that Laculus is talking with Rene about autotropes, and they talk about how, you know, they're homunculi and things like that, and she wants to know more about autotropes and stuff, and she wants to know why autotropes is always coming after her, but Laculus doesn't really give her the answers like that. And we find out that Laculus is like, I may look human and things like that, but which also makes sense in the last episode where we saw that Laculus is like, I don't need to eat and things like that. So we see that Kyoto basically comes up with the idea that, hey, maybe you guys could become human. So she decides that, you know, she gets kind of creepy with it and asks Laculus that, hey, let me study your body. So a wild statement, but she is a scientist, but still wild statement. So we see that they end up studying Laculus's body in the episode later on. So we see that Renge gets a call from Sabimaru and saying that, you know, Ichinose has completely disappeared. We see that after they defeated the Amalgam, and while they're walking and stuff, the 100 soldiers appear, and we got this one main guy, this one main dude. He's 100 soldier, whatever thing. He has the same armor as them and stuff. It's just that he has, like, you know, he doesn't have the helmet on. We see these guys are in the beginning of the episode. They are in Kaguya's world. They are in Kamen Rider Legends world, and they go into his headquarters to try and steal his new upgrade for his suit. But as soon as they're about to go and try to take it, it ends up jumping through the portal that they came through to somewhere we don't know. Maybe it went to Kaguya, maybe it's going to Ichinose. We don't know for sure yet. But they make the same portals as the portals that Decade walks through. So yeah, but we see that the 100 soldiers have shown up there, and they end up fighting Sabimaru, Renge, Cluto, and Ichinose. So then we, out of nowhere, we see in the darkness, we see a hand, and this hand is the Abyssal King, but we're gonna get to him later. And he basically ports them all the way, except Sabimaru and Renge, but he ports them all the way into this pocket dimension. Basically is a labyrinth, and we see that Ichinose is walking through, he's walking through all these doors, and in the labyrinth. And since he's walking through all these doors, he keeps end up going into like different places, and he can't really find him a way out of this world. But then he ends up running into Cluto, and he's talking with Cluto and trying to have this like talk with her, asking her like, why exactly do you fight? What is your true desires and things like that. We see that she does have a desire. She does have a true desire, which is to be with her sisters. That is Cluto's like true desires, but she goes off about it, about like, no, I don't have any true desires. I was created to fight and get strong, and that's it. And we see Cluto putting in a lot of work. Like she tries to turn into Dread, but she wants to be able to turn into the level 3 form of Dread. But earlier in the episode, we see that Autotropes basically calls her useless and tells her that, hey, your stats aren't good enough to be able to handle Dread level 3. Only Master Grion could do that. So we see that, you know, that's kind of a thing that's weighing on her mind. She feels like everyone looks down on her because she's like not as strong as she would like to be. So she basically agrees to, we say that her and Ichinose get attacked again, and when they do get attacked again, he ends up getting both of them out of there, and they end up going into another location, like on this rooftop, and that's when we see Ichinose transform into UFO X. But we also got the return of his mechanized form, the form that uses the crab Kimi. Yeah, we see him transform into that form and completely nuke all these guys and end up escaping, which gets them to the rooftop where he transforms into UFO X. Once he transforms into UFO X, he kind of talks to Cluto and says that, hey, listen, we need to team up here because these guys are after me and you, and they're trying to beat me and you, so maybe we should team up until we find a way out of here. And she's like, good enough. So that's when they end up defeating all these guys again, and they end up porting back into another place. Once they port back to this other place, they kind of have like another kind of heart-to-heart talk. We see that Ichinose is basically trying to like talk no jutsu her, trying to get her to, you know, come to like this other side. He's making her think and all this other mushy gushy stuff, but that's not who Cluto is. She's hands. That's all she is. She's hands, feet, and a lot of, you know, shit talking you. So but we see that they ended up getting attacked by the 100 on the basically getting attacked by the 100 again. Once they're basically getting attacked by the 100 again, we see that Ichinose is able to transform into we see that Cluto makes one last attempt, and she transforms into Dread, but she goes into the level 2 form, and she gets her own like little, you know, moment, stuff like that. She goes off on these guys. She's beating all these soldiers, doing her thing and things like that. And we see that even the 100 soldier general dude is like, you guys, you know, did a good job at putting us in this labyrinth and things like that. And then they're like, you know, we didn't do that, we thought you guys did that. So they end up fighting these guys. We see that Ichinose transforms into Platinum Gotchard, and that's when we get this dope scene. We get this dope rider kick between the two, and they ended up kicking the crap out of this 100's general. Once they end up defeating him, he's defeated, but he pulls out a beacon, I guess, like a beacon communicator, things like that, and he pulls it out, presses the button, and he fades away, but the beacon still stays there. And that's when Ichinose and Cluto have they got out of the labyrinth, but they have like this heart-to-heart talk with each other, and they talk about how, you know, he talks about how he wants to realize his gotcha. He talks to her about basically what his like desires and things like that are, and he offers his hand to her that, hey, basically, you know, join us, you know, join the team, you know, just just until like just so you're not harming humans or kimmies or anything like that. She's like, no, you're an idiot. I was just using you to get out of that freaking labyrinth. We're not friends. Next time I see you, we're going to be enemies, and I'm going to defeat you and stuff. So that's when they feel a big burst of gravity, like huge spiritual pressure just hit them. And then that's when Autotropes walks up with this big, tall, mysterious figure, and it is the Abyssal King. So the Abyssal King basically grabs Cluto and tells her that, hey, you did a good job getting out of that labyrinth. I'm going to give you something you truly desire. And it flashbacks to her with her sisters, but he ends up giving her more power. He gives her a massive upgrade, and we see Cluto have this devilish, just really badass freaking suit, which means that if she get like, so now that she has like this newfound power, I don't think she's gonna henching up into Dread anymore. I think we're done. I don't think she's gonna transform into Dread anymore, or maybe she will transform into Dread, and now that she's gotten this upgrade, maybe she'll be able to handle Dread level 3. But with this new form, yeah, it's creepy, it's terrifying, but it looks really cool. And she ends up leaving with Autotropes and the Abyssal King. Once they leave, we see that the rest of the gang comes up and picks up Ichinose, and they're like, and, Ichinose basically, he's tired, but I guess later on he's gonna fill them in on what happened. After everybody leaves, we see another portal open, and 3 characters, 2 men and a woman, they walk through this portal, and they are part of the 100 army, and they talk about how they need to go and find Legend and find Gotchard, destroy him, so the 100 can invade this world and overtake it and things like that. And we see what riders that they are actually going to transform into in the next episode. I won't say what they are. I know 3 of them. I know all of them, but I'm not gonna say what they are. It's complete spoilers. But this episode was great. I love this episode, man. This episode really turned things around for me. Ichinose was bearable. In this episode, he was bearable. I mean, Ichinose has started to grow on me for a while, and I don't dislike him as much as I used to, but your boy has gotten better, and I really do. We got to see a lot of out of suit fighting for him, even though Ichinose is trash. It seems like he's trash when he's like he's like in civilian form, like fighting and stuff like that. We also got to see a lot of fighting between with Sabimaru and Renge. Like, they got some moves, they can fight, and I really did like that. I'm glad they're not a bunch of damsels I'm glad they're not like dead weight or damsels in distress, even though I never felt like that. I never felt like that's what they were, because they have done fighting like before, but this one they did very well, and I loved it. I loved it. They got some shine in this. They got some shine again, and I like these characters, and they got some shine again, which is dope. So yeah, man. Next episode, we are going to see Legend. We're going to see him, and we also saw that Ichinose does have faint memories of the whole Legend situation that happened. He said he feels like he should know these guys. We get flashbacks to that special. But yeah, Ichinose does it. Like, because we all know that at the end of the Legend special, he forgot everything. Like, he forgot it. He forgot it. He even did it. Any of that. But yeah, most likely his memories are going to come back when he sees Legend again and stuff like that. But next week we are going to see Legend's new form, and we're gonna see how we're gonna get out of this whole 100 thing going on, because these 3 seem like they're gonna be very powerful and a very big problem to deal with. But other than that, I love this episode. It was dope. We gotta say Cluto, man. I never thought I'd say that, but we gotta save her. We gotta get her out of here. Like, but she's good, because she's about to do some demolition type stuff. A part of me feels like we're not gonna see them again until this whole Legend stuff is over with, and I feel like this whole Legend thing might end up just being like maybe 1 or 2 or maybe 3.5 episodes, which I feel, and the rest of the crew is probably gonna meet Legend and he's probably gonna erase their memories again. I don't know, but other than that, this episode was dope, man. I'll say it again, this episode was awesome. I really enjoyed this episode. But I want to know what you guys think. You guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about this episode of Kamen Rider Gotchard. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. As remember, as I always say, guys, stay henshined.